OMT Online Dynasty, we are back for our first part of bowl season here at the end of year 3. If you've never seen any of these before, what this is, it is a 32 user online dynasty, each team broken out into one of 4 custom conferences with 8 teams in each. And here at the end of season 3, we've gotten 4 teams that made their way into the college football playoff. We have the defending national champion Boater in his Utah State Aggies, IQ Truth in his Toledo Rockets, and our main event today is going to be a round 1 user playoff game between Wes and his Tulsa Golden Hurricanes and Vancy in the Louisiana Ragin' Cajun. Will Tulsa's fearsome defensive line be able to keep up with Louisiana and their crazy speed in the backfield and their triple option offense? Only time will tell. Elsewhere, throughout the first couple weeks of bowl season, I believe we only had one other user game, and that was UNLV against Temple. We'll have some game breaks of that, a little bonus footage at the end of our main event, but elsewhere it was pretty much all just games against the CPU, but we will go over everything that has happened in bowl weeks 1 and 2. But before we hop into that game, let's go take a look at the depth charts of both Tulsa and Louisiana, starting with Wes and his Golden Hurricanes. He has got Tulsa up to an 87 overall, 89 offense, 86 defense, led by Austin Feliz Novesad. Resistance step up dot on time, 94 overall. Really good quarterback as long as you're comfortable staying in that pocket, because he does not have this, very opposite to the quarterback we're going to see at Louisiana. Halfback, I didn't expect much from this Andre Dubnar, I believe is what we ended up calling when we just featured Tulsa pretty recently on a game of the week, but this guy is a monster. Nothing in his stats or attributes really jumps out at you, but the guy plays really well. We'll see if Wes is going to be able to get him going too much today. Wide receiver, Micah T's 360 and sidestep 93 speed. Definitely the guy to watch on RPOs we noticed from the last time. Jared Sturm is coming. Press Pro and Sure Hands 95 speed on this 6'2" wide receiver. And Nate Downs with the sickness, 6'4", 93 speed, redshirt freshman. He has got quite the squad here. The only receiver he's losing is Micah T's. And other than that, it's all sophomore or redshirt freshmen. Wide receiver room looking pretty strong going forward for Tulsa. Tight end wise, we are going to have the influencer himself, Alex Earl, 82 speed, 6'2". But yeah, it's really about Tulsa's defensive line. And I did want to note there was something about this defensive line. Wes actually let me know in a comment of his last game of the week that he was redshirting, and obviously it wasn't newbie, but he's redshirting one of his quick jumps, so he can come back for another year, which makes sense. But at starting edge, we're going to have newbie with a platinum quick jump. At right edge, Dylan Spencer, pocket disruptor, workhorse, and takedown. We got another quick jump and takedown here, another quick jump here. The defensive line is preposterous of Tulsa. I think our Old Dominion boys wouldn't stand much of a chance against these big boys up front. Then at Sam linebacker, we've got a house call bouncer, robber, 90 speed, 6'4", Gabe Williams. His defense is just insane. The talent on this Tulsa defense is preposterous. Even going to corner, JD Drew, 5'11", 94 speed. Brian Nelson, 6', 91 speed. Ton of abilities all over the place. How his defense is only an 86 overall with what we're looking at here really makes no sense. So it's really going to be Tulsa relying on that defensive line to be able to get in and disrupt that Louisiana run game. Much easier said than done, especially when we look at the Ragin' Cajuns roster, where Vancy has the boys from Louisiana. It used to be Louisiana and Lafayette. Now they just call them Louisiana. But the Ragin' Cajuns, 2.5-star program, 84 overall, 84 offense, 86 defense, led by Jawan Johnson. This guy is a gigantic problem. Remember, he is going to be in the Army flexbone triple option offense. So having a quarterback like this in an offense like that and having Hawkins waiting behind him makes a lot of sense. Very difficult guy to stop right here. And that's even before we get to the real star of the Louisiana offense. That is going to be halfback Harlem Berry. Do the Harlem Shake. Who remembers that trend? I'm not called old man trying for no reason, but anyway, Harlem Berry, platinum shifty, sidestep 360, armbar, 99 speed, 99 excel, agility. Guy is unbelievable. When we played Louisiana, it was either year 1 or year 2. I think it was year 2 because he had Jawan Johnson, and this was our main concern when we went up against Vancy. We just couldn't let Jawan Johnson beat us because he didn't have these halfbacks. Now I don't know what the defensive plan is. I almost feel like we'd have to live with Jawan Johnson beating us, and we can't let Harlem Berry, but that's so much easier said than done too. Then we did have an unfortunate injury happened at some point here. I'm not entirely sure when, if it was during sim. Again, I apologize, Fancy. I try to turn, usually I turn injuries off when we, especially if there's a force win or a fair sim or anything like that. And I'm pretty sure I did, but I might not have. But we do have an unfortunate injury there to Rajay Dennis, but he's still got Harlem Berry. I think he'll be all right. Oh, and actually, since he is in a triple option, we do need to check his fullback. Bill Davis, shifty head first, sidestep downhill, 5'9", 240 pounds. This is exactly why I like to take an elusive bruiser and put him at fullback if I was running an offense like this, because that's just, for me, so much better than having like a tight end or something back there, or an actual fullback. Wide receiver wise, we're actually not going to see too much of these guys, which is a shame. I think it was one of these two we were actually in a transfer portal battle with Louisiana with, and he ended up going to the triple option team. Dumb choice there, brother. But his top two receivers, very, very good, with Shelton Sampson Jr., 97 speed plat takeoff, and Russell Babineau. I mean, he is from Lafayette. That's a very Louisiana name. And I don't remember which one of these two it is, but either way. Couple speed demons for Louisiana, because we do know he likes to run X dig out of flexbone normal, which will have those two wide receivers on the field. So at least having two receivers like that is going to help a ton. Tight ends don't really matter much, I don't believe, especially with how he runs the Army offense. Defensively, let's see what we got. We got a silver quick jump here on Priest Ash. Whoa. That's an intimidating name there. Anything else on our defensive line? We had one takedown, of course, Workhorse and Hammer, Grip Breaker, Pocket Disruptor on Ashton Wright. Okay, so a solid defensive line. It's just hard after we looked at Tulsa's to try to keep it like for the rest of us, because we're all a group of 5 teams, group of 6 teams, had to start with a 2-star team or below. So compared to the rest of the league, that's a really good defensive line. Compared to Tulsa's, it doesn't look like much. Solid Mike linebacker here with Jack Habert, Bouncer Robert, 86 speed, 94 speed Charles Ross the second, 6'1", 218. This guy might have just been a linebacker the whole way, because usually you see these high speed guys and they're converted safeties, but at 6'1", 218, that'd be a big boy safety. So I don't know, but he does have platinum robber. Then at corner, we got 96 speed DJ Pickett, 6'4", platinum layout, platinum house call. Blanket coverage and quick jump on Curly Reed the third. Kevis Thomas, blanket coverage in jammer, and then jammer on Jeremiah Moses. So very good cornerback room, very good free safety. I mean, both these teams are just stacked. Every team, honestly, well, Toledo is not stacked, but Utah State, Louisiana, and Tulsa have all done an unbelievable job putting these teams together. So that is how the teams look. That is how they shape up. Best of luck to both Wes and Vancy here in our round 1 playoff game. Let's see who is going to move on. We'll be starting with Wes and Tulsa on offense here. This game is all going to be from Vancy's point of view. Thank you for keeping that VOD up. So as usual with these games of the week, we're going to watch the first drive of each team's in full, see what they got. I don't remember if I mentioned Tulsa, I believe, is in the Georgia offensive playbook, Louisiana in Army. So a nice little run of 2, nice run shoot there by Louisiana. That is weirdly a super good run defense. If you come out in like a 3-2-6 and then just hover right over the defensive tackle, for whatever reason in this, and I think it works in Madden too, it really, really makes it easy to shoot the run. I don't know why, but it does. It works really, really well. So we're getting out there to watch the RPO, which is good because we know Tulsa does like his RPO. So get your user out there. Try to take away Alex Earl on that left flat. We're going to be motioning somebody in here. It is not going to be an RPO, and finds Alex Earl right up the seam. Quick laser there from Feliz Nove Sad, picking up a huge gain there for the Golden Hurricane. I really liked what Tulsa did there because you could tell, at least from my opinion, from the peanut gallery over here, as somebody who didn't make the playoffs, that it really looked like Louisiana was waiting for that RPO. So he moved the user over to the left to try to take away that tight end RPO. So with that user kind of out of the way there, it opened up the seam. So we put that tight end on a streak and just fire one in there. Then we hit him with the RPO out of trips tight end that time. Louisiana not getting the user in a spot to go guard that. So we will take the free yardage there. Another first down for Tulsa, already on Louisiana side of the 42. Dropping back to pass here again, not really seeing a whole heck of a lot. Tries to force one right over the middle, and there is Hobart with the interception. I believe Hobart is a small town in Wisconsin. I'm pretty sure it's Hobart. Shout out to maybe the one person watching this that is familiar with Hobart, Wisconsin, but gets the big interception for Louisiana. A promising opening drive there for Tulsa. There was just absolutely nowhere to go. Novosad tries to fit one in there in a window that did not exist. So now Louisiana taken right back over here at home. I do wish for the playoffs, going looks like a read option there. I do wish for the playoffs, like in real life, and then obviously in this game, the first 2 rounds should be at home. I think even if you get a bye, of course, you know, they have the bowl tie-ins and everything, so they can't really do that right now. But sometime in the future, if they're going to stay at 12, I would love every playoff team, as long as you're, you know, seated high enough, gets a home game on campus. I think that makes it so much more fun. Anyway, Louisiana coming, sorry for the lip snack. Louisiana coming back out in flexbone normal, going with that rocket toss, trying to get one outside to Mr. Harlem Berry, but that Tulsa defensive line not letting him get outside. Wes's user flies out there as well, forces him back inside into the help defense. Only a gain of 1, which anytime Harlem Berry is touching the ball, we are holding our breath on the defensive side of things, but we got him to a quick 3rd and 10. I've not been paying attention to what plays or anything were coming out in here. Let's see. This looks like flexbone normal. It is going to be a flipped X dig. So we got Wilson on that drag going to the right. Dig outside, going with a little mesh underneath, and the curl on X. Comeback on X. Okay. So mesh, keeping that deep dig. That stunt almost came in immediately. That was very, very close to an instant stack. And that is something I kind of want to see. If Louisiana is passing from under center here, how quick can that Tulsa defensive line get in there and cause a little bit of havoc? Offensive line does a great job that time. Very good switch, too, to take away that drag to Harlem Berry. Wes all over that on the left flat. We have to try to wait for that deep dig to come over the middle, but by then, you can hold off this Tulsa defensive line for a little bit, but eventually they are going to come hollering in at you. So turnover for turnover, really no damage done there. Tulsa taking over just about where they had it in the first place here. Coming out some wing trips weak. I just feel like we almost always have to watch RPOs against Tulsa after that last game we watched against Oregon State. And there's that Dubnar, by the way. This guy is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Just breaking tackles, finding space, getting room when he shouldn't, getting yards when he shouldn't. Guy's a dog. I said we were just going to watch the first offensive drive of these guys, but with it being a turnover and then kind of a quick turnover on downs, I think we'll just stick with watching this for a little bit. There goes Dubnar again, and again takes multiple Raging Cajuns to bring down one Hurricane. That sounds like a riddle. How many Raging Cajuns to tame one Golden Hurricane? Well, it's more than one, I'll tell you that. It looks like Louisiana's in 3-3-5 on defense, which I do like that playbook. Going with the blitz, picked it up beautifully, tries to find Alex Earl on a little tight end streak down the middle, but the user of Vancy hangs just underneath it. Needed a little more loft on that ball from Feliz Novosad. Instead, it is our second interception of the day. Louisiana's defense taking that ball right back to this high-powered offense. Let's see if they're going to be able to get anything going now. Looks like we went to some empty academy here on offense. Indeed we do, and this one is only in the Army playbook. I do like that all the Service Academy playbooks have things that are unique to them. It's not just the same stuff across every flexbone iteration. Navy, you have an empty flexbone. Oh, we're going with the power read, trying to get outside again with Barry. Again, forcing him straight that sideline. He's still going to pick up 10. I mean, Barry's going to get yards. There's not going to be a ton we can do to totally shut Barry down, but if we can at least keep him somewhat contained, I think we're okay with that. Yeah, Navy has the empty flexbone and their different pistol stuff. Air Force has the empty pistol and some wingback or wing bone, whatever one it's called. One of those two things. Again, good user job there, by the way, of Wes, making sure he's setting that edge and he's not going to be able to just take that outside with Johnson and use that crazy speed we have on that quarterback. Force him back inside, force him back to the help. And then, yeah, Army's got empty academy and some really heavy pistol sets that the other ones don't. So it's like a lot of their flexbone stuff is very similar. Something, there's a few formation differences. Like some have you off and east, others don't. And back to Harlem Berry again, trying to get all the way outside, but there's that 360. Tried to push him all the way to that sideline, hits him with a goal 360, hits him with a juke, hits him down to the 1 yard line. Unbelievable individual effort there from Harlem Berry to get dragged down at the 1. But that's just what that man is going to do. That's just what he is going to do. We had both defenders that time stretched a little too far outside, gave him the room on the inside, and Harlem Berry is going to find it. Then we'll just trust Jawan Johnson on that run right up the gut, pushing it to early 7-0 lead here for Louisiana. It's just Harlem Berry, man. Really, what can we do? That is actually going to pretty much perfectly take us to our first game break of the day between UNLV and Temple, our only other user bowl game we've had here so far in bowl season. 3rd and goal for UNLV, minute and a half left here in the first in the beautiful Hawaii Bowl. Both teams enjoying a nice beautiful vacation. Finds his man back of the end zone, touchdown UNLV, making that one a 7-0 ball game. I'm going to jump ahead just a little bit here to the start of the second quarter. Tulsa got stopped on defense, had to punt it back to Louisiana. But now the Raging Cajuns are facing a 4th and 5 and going for it from Tulsa's 43, kind of in no man's land here, going with an all-go with the Texas route. Looked like we were trying to throw that to Y and maybe pump faked by accident. I'm not entirely sure. It looked like the throw meter started to go. Looked like we were going to chuck that to Y, and it looked like we did have it. But that Tulsa defensive line getting in that backfield and making plays. This is exactly what they needed. 4, if you're playing a defense against a team like Louisiana, we're in the second quarter and they only have 7 points, we're doing something right. Crazy 3-man shed there from that right edge Garriston. Looked like he was just on a contain and just whoop right on around him, right to Novosad. The 3-man rush gets in there in a flash. So 2nd and 10 now for Tulsa. Let's see if we can find some momentum here on offense. I feel like that Louisiana defense has really just been all over him here so far. Goes with a little halfback draw right up the middle to our guy Dubnar. Finds 7. I mean, we'll take that at this stage of the game, but much more manageable now. 3rd and 3. We can call pretty much whatever we want out of here. So, okay. So Louisiana's in the 3-2-6 defensive playbook. That makes sense because it's the only one that has 3-2-6. And they do have some 3-3-5. Obviously not as much as just your standard 3-3-5 playbook though. Tulsa coming back out in their trips tight end. We got to watch that RPO. See, again, though, we're doing that 3-man front and then just hover right over the nose tackle. We had our left seam there. Maybe playmaker somebody up, something. Try to chuck one down deep. Nowhere to go down there. Ball falls incomplete. 4th and 3, and we are going no huddle. We are pedal to the metal. We saw something we liked here apparently, and we are sticking with it. Let's see what the call is going to be here. Is he going to come kind of mug that middle? Yep. Gets in the spot to play run defense. If Tulsa does want to try this run on 4th and 3, they are going to drop back, and he finds that seam. See, we saw that too, Wes. We were on the same page there, brother. We had that on the 3rd down play, so just hurry up, go right back to it on 4th down, and we find him up the seam. A huge conversion, a little spark, a little life for this Tulsa offense. Can we finish this drive now inside the red zone? Going to that run up the middle. Really could have used a block there by number 10 or whoever that was. Just didn't block that left slot corner. Could have been a touchdown potential if we actually get that one. Instead, it is just going to be a gain of 2. Willie will come out in some stack Y off. The only thing I didn't like about, because I like the alignment here of like just your regular 3-3-5, but you only really have like cover 3 out of it, and everything's gonna be a single high safety. We go to the, wow, he did hold on to that. Ooh, that was close. Fitted in just underneath that deep blue zone, but it is a catch. It is a first down. It is a 1st and goal now for the Golden Hurricane. Y off trips again. We got to just watch an RPO pretty much every time. He's coming out in these formations. I think I really need to learn like what the because I think some buttons change depending on if it's an RPO or something. Like if you're on defense, the tight end is a different button or something like that. I really need to look into look into that a little bit. Almost a go-go looking formation here. It is going to be an RPO with a swing going out to the right, but Dubnar, fight, show some gosh dang fight, Dubnar. He does not go down easy. I told you his stats, his attributes, nothing about him looks that amazing, but my goodness, does that guy have the heart of a lion. Fights his way in there, picks up the touchdown, ties this one up at 7 apiece. Let's take that to another game break with UNLV and Temple. Still 7-0 for the Rebels here. 4 minutes left in the second quarter there, but Temple is threatening. 2nd and 3, ball at the 8, going with a little RPO out to the left and having his own little luau out there. No defender in sight. Number 21 of Temple will run that one in for the touchdown. 7-7 out in Hawaii. I was going to say Honolulu, but I'm not 100% sure that it's actually where it is. So now it's going to be Vancy in Louisiana with the ball. And this first play. So at the beginning I said, all right, we have to make Johnson be the one to beat us. We can't have Barry being the one to do it, or the halfbacks. And this is kind of the problem with that. Because once Johnson gets out here on this counter option, it's up to the user to make that tackle, and I'm not entirely sure what happened there. It looked like he hit an invisible force field of some kind. He was right behind Johnson and then just kind of got yanked backwards like a mime was pulling on a rope tied around his waist or something. But yeah, your user really has to be the one to make those plays. We'll take just that being the gain of 9 because that could have been much worse. So we're coming back out in flexbone normal. Yeah, and being on the right hash, we're going with Bill Davis right up the gut there. Being on the right hash, I think, is where you want to be in these flexbone offenses for the most part, because if you have a right-handed quarterback, now the defense has to worry about a rocket toss, because that usually you're going to run that to the left. They have to worry about X dig. They have to worry about the QB counter options. They have to worry about just regular triple options. There's just, when you're on the right hash, adding in that extra element of rocket toss, I feel like just adds so much more doubt and concern into the defense's mind that just opens things up a lot more, in my opinion. I'm not a flexbone expert. I do enjoy a good flexbone offense, but I'm certainly no expert. So we're coming back out normal. Looks like we just flipped our QB counter option to be going to the left here. So yeah, see, these are the ones that really worry you when it's Johnson and Barry. Goes with a quick pitch out to Barry, and oh, we got a big man out there to try to stop him. And yeah, I'm sorry, big fella, you're not going to be able to stop that Harlem shake. The stadium is shaking. The Ragin' Cajuns offense is starting to find that momentum. Those are the weirdest dance moves I've ever seen. But Harlem Barry takes it in for the quick strike Louisiana touchdown. They are back on top, 14-7. And Tulsa looking to battle back here before half. We just got to the 2-minute warning. They are on Louisiana side of the field here. Ball at the 46. 2nd and 5 for the Golden Hurricanes. Let's see what they can draw up. Hopefully tie this one up before half. I really feel like defensively we've given up a couple big plays, but other than that, I like what we've seen out of Tulsa's defense. They've kept them around, kept them hanging in this game. We just got to find some good momentum here for the offense. We got some deep middle shots we could have potentially gone to there, but the pressure gets in a little too quick. Maybe that was just some shaded underneath coverage there from Louisiana. Looked like a bunch of 5-yard hooks, but eventually number 42 breaks through the wall of the Hurricane. Brings Feliz Novi Sad down to the ground. They'll bring up a 3rd and 5 now. Tulsa doing some bunch of different high routes here at a gun bunch. One of the better formations out of the Georgia playbook. Looked like, whoa, how is that a drop? That's an unfortunate break for Tulsa. Looked like that offensive line was holding up for a second. Then one defensive lineman kind of wiggled his way through there like a little worm chasing down Nova Sad. Tried to find one underneath just past the first down sticks, but ends up getting dropped. And now we got a huge 4th and 5 for Tulsa. If we don't convert this, Louisiana's got the ball at the minute 50 left in the half. I don't know. Stadium Pulse absolutely rocking down here in Lafayette. Nova Sad having trouble getting the signals out to his receivers. We are only rushing 3, and it's a user pick by number 55 on the Ragin' Cajuns. Vancy all over the halfback, not giving him an inch to breathe. Charles Ross II comes away with a huge turnover. Now Louisiana has the ball in field goal range, try to push this to a 2-score lead. And I think Tulsa started with the ball too, right? That could be the big swing in the game here for Louisiana. Let's see. So we're in a 4-down. Kind of looks like just maybe a base nickel over or something with our guys down on close and pinch. And there's that interior defensive line just not letting you hand that ball off to the fullback, brother. It's not going to be that easy. Brings Bill Davis down for a loss of 1. Louisiana will be staying in their flexbone normal. Looks like QB counter option is going to be the call here again. We have burned them with this one before, and we are going to keep this with Johnson. Oh, see, that time they were actually keyed to go take down Johnson, so that's actually interesting. I kind of love that idea on the left hash, because if Harlem Barry is our right wing back, it's much more likely Johnson's going to kill you on a run going out to the right, especially with that other back that was injured. But if Harlem Barry's on that right side, anytime he's on the left hash, change your keys to go after the quarterback. That's a good, I like the sounds of that. We're trying to hit another rocket toss out to Harlem Berry, but that time Tulsa's defense having absolutely none of it. I love seeing the big boys of Tulsa they're doing a good job on it too, of stretching Harlem Berry out to the sideline, trying to make him bring it back in. And this time we actually had the help defense, so he had just nowhere to go. Bring him down just for a loss of 1. Looks like Louisiana kind of slowing things down here a little bit, because even a field goal is massive here before half. We don't necessarily need a touchdown. Of course, it would be nice, but certainly not a necessity. So 40 seconds, yeah, no rush here. So we did just audible to something because our left wide receiver came a little closer to the line, going back to that inside run. Just, man, this Tulsa front just eating these boys alive on these runs up the middle. Again, just absolutely nowhere to go. 3rd and 8 now for the Raging Cajuns. I'm guessing we picked one of the pass plays out of here. I don't know if it was X-Dig or All Go. I would guess X-Dig from the 15 would make more sense. Oh no, we are going All Go and sneaking Wilson out on a little streak. Oh, just pushing everybody deep. Everybody deep. Going up the seams we got. Oh, he finds him. He finds Mr. Keaton up the left seam. The wingbacks all going down on streaks. The user had to pick one side or the other. He goes right. Vancey goes left. And it's a Raging Cajun touchdown with 12 seconds left in the half. Louisiana looking to punch their ticket to whatever the next bowl game is. So how the bracket laid out, we'll look at it after the game. But this was obviously a user game in round 1. Then whoever wins this would just have CPU games up until, what is it? The national championship, I believe. I could be wrong on that. We'll look later. I'm pretty confident Louisiana only had CPU games after this. No, they definitely did, because there's only 2 other users. They were both in the top half of the bracket, and they're facing off in the semifinal game. We had 4 users total. Yeah. So Louisiana, whoever ends up getting out of Lafayette alive, just has to take care of business against the computer, and they will be in the national championship game. So Tulsa, see, I don't think we're going to do much here before half. Nope, we will just take it to the second half. A 14-point lead for the Raging Cajuns, and they will be getting the ball. And on Louisiana's opening drive here, we have got a 4th and 1 with 3.5 minutes to go. So they've already taken 2.5 minutes off the clock here. A lot of inside runs, which Tulsa's been pretty all over. We're going back to the quarterback run up the middle. Jawan Johnson, Superman himself, dives through the sky to pick up that first down. It looked like Tulsa was on that. The user came flying down too. Those QB runs are really, really difficult to stop. Now Louisiana onto Tulsa's side of the 50 in a drive that could potentially put this game away. If we can come away with points and take a lot of clock. Look at the shiftiness of Harlem Berry, the shakiness, the Harlem shakiness of Mr. Berry. Finds just that little gap up the middle, and then bing, bang, boom, pinballs his way around to pick up, what, 14, 15 yards on that run? That guy is a massive problem. Louisiana is really taking the state crown from LSU, it seems like, because I believe Jawan Johnson was an LSU transfer, Harlem Berry an LSU transfer. Got both those receivers are from Louisiana. So it's really been the Raging Cajuns taking over the state. And we are just going to go with that run up the middle. And Berry fights his way through and picks up 5 yards, 7 rushes, 149 yards. And shout out to EA for actually fixing, because if you remember from College Football 25, those rocket toss yards would all go to the quarterback, which was insane. I still don't know how that even got messed up in the first place. That never got fixed all throughout the year, but at least it is fixed. It is fixed now. So we're going real heavy set. Looks like a power read coming here from Jawan Johnson or Harlem Berry. And we just got a one-on-one out there. Yeah, just try to get an angle, but there's only so much we can do. Harlem Berry again hitting that weird weird dance move again. There's only so much you can do when you get a one-on-one on the outside with Harlem Berry. Try to get a better angle. It doesn't even matter. He's just too fast. He takes that one in. Louisiana now goes up 28-7. We'll take one more game break here between UNLV and Temple. UNLV up 13-7 here in the second half. 3 minutes left in the third. Threatening with the ball at Temple's 34. Trying to go with a little RPO read. Gets hit. Ball pops swaps out, and big boy number 97 of Temple rumbling, bumbling, stumbling all the way to the beach, all the way to the party, the big pig roast going on down by the water. Of course, number 97 is going to go find that. Takes that one in for the Temple touchdown, giving them a 1-point lead over the Rebels. Now, Tulsa's not going to go down easy, man. That much is for sure. We got a 3rd and 4 now on Louisiana's 37-yard line. Minute left in the third. We got to start getting some momentum. We got to start trying to chip away, get some big plays here, keep some drives alive. Taking that little drag down to the right, we find him that time. That was very similar to the play we saw Tulsa unable to convert earlier thanks to his receiver dropping that pass. This time he holds on to it, picks up a big first down for Nova Sada and the Golden Hurricanes. 40 seconds left in the third. I mean, with the way Louisiana plays offense, we're in a pickle here, but hopefully we got, see, I think we're getting those intermediate throws, but we're just taking the underneath. I think it seems like Louisiana shading down fairly often because we had that little corner out over on the left that last time. And I'm thinking Louisiana might have seen that, and that's why he switched his user over to be read to try to take away that corner out. We'll see if that is going to be the plan here from both Tulsa and Louisiana. Yeah, see, he's staying there to watch that corner out, but then it's open on the right side there. It's perfect, beautiful, exactly what we needed to see from the Golden Hurricanes on this drive. Take those intermediate ones. I think they're just, Louisiana's been playing very underneath, but a lot of like cover 4 and things like that. So it's still not easy to like bomb them even when they're shaded down, but they're giving up those 10 to 20 yard passes. Tulsa takes advantage there. Take it to the fourth quarter. If we get a touchdown here, we have seen crazier things. But it all starts with a touchdown on this drive. A 2nd and goal going with a tight end flat RPO. We know he likes those down here, and he finds Alex Earl in for the touchdown. 28-14. A little bit of life. Not a ton, but some life here for the Golden Hurricanes. We got one more game break here with UNLV and Temple. We'll just go to that now. 4.5 minutes left in the fourth. UNLV still down by 1, 13-14, but a 3rd and goal at the 1 yard line. 4.5 minutes to go. See if we can punch this one in here. We saw Tulsa just execute a tight end RPO. UNLV says, we got that in our bag too, buddy. Out of one of those slot left, slot right formations. Hit it to the opposite side flat, punches in the touchdown. UNLV goes for 2 and gets it. So the Rebels have a 7-point lead in that one over the Owls. Now it's Louisiana just trying to bleed this clock dry against Tulsa. Doing a pretty good job of it so far. 3.5 minutes left in this ball game. And they've got it down to Tulsa's 30, so we are in field goal range here. Flexible normal. We put in a different quarterback and run the rocket toss to the right. Does Louisiana have a backup, a left-handed quarterback he put in to run that rocket toss? Because that was Reeves, who I don't know who that is. It was in on that one. See, now we just subbed him back out. Who the heck is Reeves? I'm going to pull up that depth chart and look. I got to find Reeves. Is if you have a left-handed quarterback or something you put in just to run rocket toss to the right, that is nasty work. Absolutely nasty work. They have no choice but to respect it. But my goodness. Let's see, Louisiana. Reeves. Who the heck even is Reeves? I don't see a Reeves quarterback. Is he a kicker? This would truly be sicko behavior. Who is Reeves? What in the world? Who is this guy that Louisiana put in at quarterback? I'll get to the bottom of this. Don't you worry. You guys just watch the rest of this. Who in the world is Reeves? I can't find a Reeves on this depth chart, so I don't know. Maybe it's not showing me his whole depth chart, I guess. But he must have... he must be a lefty he can put in to run rocket toss to the right, which is nasty work. Absolutely nasty work. But yeah, I don't see a Reeves on his depth chart at all. But Louisiana killing the clock here. Down to 2 minutes to go. I think we just kind of run the rest of this out here. 2nd and 10, 3rd and 17, just running out clock. 3rd and 17, going for another run. And 4th and 10, one last play, throw it away. Louisiana gets the win. The mystery of Reeves will go on. But a huge win for the Raging Cajuns, moving them on to round 2 of the playoffs. Like I said, we will check the whole playoff bracket here in just a second. But first, we have got a little bonus action coming in from UNLV and Temple. We are going to head over there with 1:22 left in this ball game. And Temple has got the ball down by 7 Third and goal at the 1 yard line. Let's go ahead and get this started. So UNLV is Nate the Great. Temple Bruin taking that run all the way outside. The quarterback hits the quick spin move, looking like a little mini Jawan Johnson out there. Temple, the QB, breaks free, gets the touchdown, and Temple ain't a playing for overtime. Oh, it even is a guy named Johnson. That makes sense. Maybe it is a relation to Jawan Johnson with how he hit that spin move. The designed QB sweep takes it outside, picks up the touchdown, and Temple is going to go for 2 to try to take a 1-point lead in the Hawaii Bowl. Owls drawing the play up here, trying to leave Hawaii victorious here as the sun is setting. Of course, it's a beautiful day out in Hawaii. How could it not be? It always is. Double mug defense, spying the user. Johnson again trying to push it outside, but then finds his receiver crossing the field. 2-point conversion is good. And Temple takes the 1-point lead here against UNLV, but the Rebels ain't gonna go down just that easy. We got a minute 18. We got 3 timeouts. We flew all the way out here. I mean, Temple flew a lot further than UNLV did, to be fair, but they do not want to leave Hawaii empty-handed. The 1st and 10 for UNLV. Looks like we are in like a veer and shoot type playbook. Temple big on just that 3-man rush because that left edge is a monster. He is a freak. He is unbelievable. We saw clips of their game against Marshall from earlier in this season for Temple, and it was a lot of 3-man rush in that left edge, just destroying offensive lines, getting back in the backfield. If you can do that with a 3-man rush, good luck passing the ball, brother. So that's going to make it a 2nd and 19 for UNLV. Did burn one of their timeouts, but still 2 timeouts, still a minute and 12. Time is not the big concern here. Our big concern is the offensive line. So a little red zone scissors here. Again, that 3-man rush. Let's see if we can find anything. Playmaker, somebody up the field maybe. Tries. Oh, that's a tight throw into our halfback. Temple's defense a little too slow to react to that. We were able to fastball one in there, picking up a big, I mean, that's a huge 13 yards. Now we got a 3rd and 6 instead of, 3rd and 19 potentially. Looking for that left corner route. Might have had it. Instead, we'll just take that check down and look at the fight from that Rebels tight end, Mr. Beasley, picking up the 1st down. UNLV will go ahead and take their 2nd time out here. We're seeing Temple in a lot of just drop zone coverage. I would love to see that Y Sale be the play we called here, because I think our tight end's going to get open on that. But we will see what UNLV ended up picking here. So we got the ball at our own 36 and probably to the wide side maybe. So we're going with Flood. Okay. Don't love having this all going to the short side, but we will see if we're just going to take a little check down there. Yep, find our halfback. Did he get out of bounds? Looks like he did indeed, so we'll take a gain of 4. That's fine. I mean, we're already at the 40-yard line. We got 41 seconds. Yeah, I just really think we should have this potentially going to the wide side, unless we're really looking to kind of roll out here. He's dropping everybody back. We have our check down again. Yeah, we got time to take those. We 100%. You could throw that 5 more times, and then you'd be in field goal range. If they're going to be dropping everybody so far back, take those every single day. Now just a rush 2 even drops that end, drops his monstrous defensive end to try to take away those quick flats to the right. A little rush 2 defense, which, I mean, if we know you're passing the ball, it's not too bad. Now a rush 1 is the user was on the defensive tackle, just nowhere for UNLV to go. Oh, that was a beautiful playmaker. Roll out, playmakered him up the field. We were going to have it, but the rush somehow eventually found its way in there. The 1-man rush, and then he sent the spy later. And UNLV is going through their run calls here, which I kind of love the idea of. We still got 2 timeouts. He still got 17 seconds. The last play, he rushed 1. The play before that, he rushed 2. You'd have to think we have room to run this ball. But we'll see what UNLV is actually going to go to here. They were definitely looking at runs. We got another little Ashton Genty stance in the backfield. We are going to go with a draw. Gets a little caught up on his own offensive line. Kind of cost him a few yards there. But still, we picked up 4, excuse me. So now we got a 4th and 6. We're expecting much of the same from Temple probably here. Another drop a ton into coverage. Would love to see a flood of some kind here from UNLV. Something like a Y Sale. A streak on the outside and a corner out from one of your slot receivers. It's been just all drop coverage, but he has, I think he might have his zone drops on pretty deep. Temple does. I mean, We're going 5 wide. God, I'd love the look of a quarterback run here. It'd be so risky, but I really like the looks of it. So again, rushing 3, going over the middle. Big boy. Number 83 on UNLV. Somehow, some way, bullies his way through that Temple defense. The Philly defense of Temple. Wow, what a catch on 4th down. Gotta have it, gotta get it. And number 83 on UNLV does just that. Temple, again, was just dropping everybody back, and UNLV was able to find a spot. Now it all comes down. All on the kick. I mean, that's a beautiful kick. That's gotta be good. Kick is up. Kick is good. UNLV gets the walk-off field goal win in the Sheridan Hawaii Bowl. Congratulations, Nate Dogg. Congratulations to Bruin even on having a good season, making the bowl game there with Temple. Not an easy feat. GG's to all of you guys. And that is a wrap on, let me get this back over here. Hello. That is a wrap on week 1 of our bowl season, I suppose I should say. So let's go through and see everything that happened here in bowl week 1 and in bowl week 2, because those were all just CPU games. And then we're going to have a user national semifinal coming up in bowl week 3, which I am very excited for. But anyway, let's just focus bowl week 1 and 2. First, on our own Sun Belt Conference, James Madison gets the win over Rice. This was a forced win because Rice was actually out of town on vacation. So congratulations to James Madison. Old Dominion Monarchs, your boys, finished the season ranked number 22, got a 21-10. We just played the CPU and just kind of did offense only, and we're just doing things, but we got the win. That's what really matters. FIU gets the win over Delaware in the New Orleans Bowl, 77-20. Georgia State puts up 87 points against the Akron Zips in, I can't even read what bowl that is. The Salute to Veterans Bowl. I should look on the left. I was trying to read the logo on the right. Impossible. But Georgia State gets the win in the Salute to Veterans Bowl for the Sun Belt. I don't believe we had any week 2. Oh, we did have one. USF wins the First Responder Bowl against Maryland 38-6. So was that a clean sweep for the Sun Belt? JMU, ODU, FIU, Georgia State, and USF. Sun Belt. Congratulations to all my Sun Belt brethren out there going a clean 5-0 in bowl season. Helped out by the fact that maybe we didn't make the playoff. I don't know. JMU got robbed, by the way. They were number 11 before our conference championship game, and then they dropped to 13 somehow. So JMU kind of got hosed out of the playoff there. Then in the American Conference, Toledo, who did make the playoff, knocks off Florida to advance to round 2. Marshall wins the Fenway Bowl against North Carolina State 48-10. Navy in the Frisco Bowl takes down Arizona 30-10. We just saw UNLV beat Temple 24-22 out in Hawaii. Then in the Military Bowl, Army wins that one 34-27. Let's go to Conference USA, where Rice takes that forced loss to James Madison. We saw Louisiana get that big win against Tulsa. They will be moving on to round 2 of the playoffs. Texas State wins the Bobcat Bowl against the Ohio Bobcats 56-0 in the Cure Bowl. And then North Texas wins the Independence Bowl 38-17. Did anybody lose a CPU game against the computer? I think somebody did. Oregon State beats Ball State in the Arizona Bowl 68-41. We lost a bowl game against the computer. I think it was in year 2. I think I mentioned it at the end of our last user game, but I was playing CPU only, and Alejado fumbled when we were up 10 with 2 minutes to go. And then they scored, and then we fumbled the kickoff, and they scored again, and we ended up losing, and I didn't get to see the ball again. So that was fun. Utah State takes down Duke, the Darian Mensa Bowl. Utah State moving on to round 2 in the college football playoff. Louisiana, we saw that. Temple and UNLV, we saw that. New Mexico State did end up losing to Notre Dame, but to be fair, New Mexico State was a 57 overall team, Notre Dame 99. 99 offense, 99 defense, and it went to overtime. And then New Mexico State coach has actually decided to take a new position that we will talk about later. So that's everybody in bowl week 1. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the CFP bracket, see how we are sitting here in bowl week 3. I believe Vancy's played his game. We're waiting on our user game. Yep. So in bowl week 2, Utah State beats Pittsburgh 80-13. Toledo beats Clemson 51-6. So in our semifinal, it is going to be Boder, the defending national champion, and his Aggies taking on IQ Truth in the Toledo Rockets. Then down at the bottom, Louisiana takes care of LSU. See, they are the marquee team in Louisiana, proven it by beating the Tigers. there in that quarterfinal matchup. Then they went on to beat Texas already in the semifinals. So Louisiana has punched their ticket to the national title game, and they will be waiting on the winner of Utah State and Toledo, which will be our next video. We'll have a game of the week of Utah State against Toledo, then one for our national championship, and then we'll have one kind of going over off-season stuff and all that before we head into year 4. So that's the plan. That's where we're at. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was a great game between Tulsa and Louisiana. Again, holding Louisiana to 28 is pretty good defense. It might not seem like it. It might not feel like it. But with how stacked that team is and that scheme he runs, if you hold him to 28, you did something pretty dang well. So GG's to both of these guys. Good luck to everybody left in the playoffs. I will see you guys next time for Utah State and Toledo. Until then, take it easy.